Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to show you guys how to bake out normal maps or even ambient occlusion maps within Blender. As usual, the key combinations will be able to be seen or viewed down here in the lower left corner. Now let's get started. First of all, delete the standard cube by pressing X on your keyboard and go for delete. Now press 7 on your numpad to enter top view mode or the top perspective, and press 5 on your numpad to enter orthographic perspective or orthographic viewport mode and not perspective. And now at a plane, go for Shift A, Mash, Plane. Zoom in a little. Make sure you go into Edit mode and press Control R. And now move your cursor anywhere near the top edge and move your middle mouse button up once or roll it up once. So you get two of these lines or edge cut of loop cuts, whatever you want to call them. Edge loop cut, edge loop. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, now seeing these two lines, left click, and I'll go for right click to position them back in the middle. Press X to scale them, S to scale them, X to scale them around or along the x-axis, and just move them out a little. Now do the same for horizontal ones. So go for Control R, near the edge, mouse wheel up once, left click, right click, S to scale, Y to scale along the y-axis, and just move them up. There we go. So now the whole purpose of me subdividing the plane, that's not really the most important part now, because my part should actually just be showing you how to later on bake it out. Your part would be to actually make up a highly detailed mesh you can bake out a normal map from or an ambient occlusion map from later. So this part right now is just in order to make it, well, give you the visual appearance of how it's supposed to look or how an example would look like. So with that in mind, let's even create two more of these. Scale them along the y-axis like this. And just add them like I did. And once more, this is just up to me, up to my preferences and how I like my texture to look later on. There we go. Now I'm just gonna extrude, or even no, I'm gonna make it even smaller, I guess. Like that. Now I'm just gonna extrude this a little, so go into edge select mode. Select these two edges. S to scale, X to scale on the x-axis, and scale it in a little. Now go into face selection mode and just select these faces. Press I and just do it like that. Yeah, oh sorry. Now select these inner faces. Press numpad 3 and just move them up a little. You could do probably the same for these two faces. I to move them in a little bit. Now select the inner faces, 3, and move them up like this. Yep. Now this already has a height information or a information valuable for a normal map. So we'll just go ahead and bake out the normal maps now. You obviously would make a way more detailed mesh than that. Well, if you'd like to, obviously, it doesn't have to be. But usually you'd use like highly detailed mesh with a lot of vertices and just bake it onto a normal map and later on put that normal map onto a low poly mesh. So let's just get started. Get out of edit mode, press Shift A, Mash, Plane. Now move the plane up. Doesn't matter how far up, at least it's up. Now enter edit mode, press U to unwrap. Click on unwrap with your newly created plane. I'm gonna open up a little UV image editor window. I'm gonna go to image, new image, 1024, 1024. Alright. Now, having entering object mode. First of all, selecting the high detail mesh. And at last, like you could have multiple meshes under this plane. And the important thing is to lastly to select the plane, because we're gonna bake the normal maps of this highly detailed mesh onto the UV maps of this low poly mesh we have over here, or this low poly plane we have over here. So once you have that done, go to render, bake, move it out a little, and change from full render to normals, and make sure selected to active is activated. And now just click on bake, and you will see it bakes out our normal map. Looks pretty decent. Now we could do the same for like an ambient occlusion map, but obviously we wouldn't want to overwrite our normal map, so we're just going to create like a new image, having our, well, first of all we go back to our normal plane, go into edit mode, image, new image, just okay. Disable it, like go back into object mode, select the high detail mesh, select the low detail plane, or just plane we didn't work on, and do the same but now change from normals to ambient occlusion and click on bake. And now it's going to bake out our ambient occlusion map onto a separate image, which is really neat and really helpful. What's weird? There we go. We can see, okay, we have our ambient occlusion map and we have our normal map. Now you just go to image and save it out and use it in whatever editor you use. I don't know, UDK, Unity, 3D, CryEngine, whatever you use, I don't care, like, or even just a render or something like that for presentation. Well, that was my little tutorial on how to create or bake out normal maps within Blender or even ambient occlusion maps. I hope it helped. If there are any questions left, just put them down there in the comment box. I'll try to answer. See you, well, next time.